Hello and welcome back. I haven't done any furniture for a while, so I thought I'd start doing some more again. I had a couple ideas and some stuff that I'm probably going to use myself, so I figured I'd make a video, and if anybody's having trouble, then they can just follow along and make some of their own stuff. Oh, I had an idea, and now I'm going to forget it now. Oh yeah, yes. I know what I'm doing, don't worry. We'll make, to start off, maybe we'll make a fireplace. I figure maybe we'll make a couple versions of fireplaces. We'll end the episode and we'll see how many people check it out. And we'll go from there. I should do the scaling in this mode actually. Because I don't want to move my move points. It just makes it a little easier. I'm going to go like that and like this. My center point's exactly in the middle of that, and I just don't want that to move too much. So let's first go Control R. We're going to do that across. Now let's do it in the center. Do I want one up and down? Let's first mess with this one. We still have it lit up, you see. So what we're going to do is just go side to side, just pull it in. Something. Yeah. Okay, let's do a second one. Control R. And we'll go across the side again. And maybe we'll tug on this one. We'll put it about midway. And I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. You do the same, okay? Hopefully you'll see where I'm heading and you'll like it. I went a little too skinny there. Just do that. Something like that. Okay. Then we're going to grab this top face and we're going to go, grab the whole face. And we'll just zip it in until it's almost a straight line up and down. Get it as good as you can. Something like that. And maybe we'll just extend that face a little. Okay. Alright, so we have the basic shape of our fireplace. I don't like that a whole lot. Maybe we'll go back a little bit. I don't know why it shrank the one way. Might have to do it a different way, but I don't like it. Took it all out of proportion. That's just not good. So come with me back to this point, okay? Let's do this a little better. I don't want to cause issues later. We just want this one and this one to move, right? Don't want the other ones to move, so when we do this now, it will make it for, we don't have that weird lean inwards. And I'm sure you could have put it back by hand, but it's a little hard to do and get right for it looks right. So maybe we'll do that, and we'll just extend it up again. We'll just drag it up like that. Okay. Have the basic shape we want now. Maybe we grab this face and we just kick it in. No, that's not gonna work, is it? How could we do that? We'd have to put another cut there. Let's try that. Let's hit Control R and side to side, and we'll bring it up near the top, like that. Then when we go to faces and we bump this one back, it'll actually move without dragging the whole thing with us. Just put a little slope on there. It's just giving us a little bit of character. And you don't have to, but I just thought it looks pretty nice. It just gives it that little beveled edge there. Copy it on this one by just doing like that. And you see how we have the same ledge? You can go in farther if you want it to be more distinct, but I just think it looks a little nicer. You don't have to do it at all if you disagree. Alright, so obviously that's not going to work for our fireplace shape, sorry. So we're going to have to make it a little thicker, obviously. Let's do something like that, maybe. And maybe now that we can see how thick we're going to go, that it makes a little more sense to go in a little farther that way. Maybe we can kick this one in a little bit. No, let's not do that. It's going to give us a funny look. Is that? Oh, I know what we'll do. We will do just that edge there. Okay, so now it just leans back a little more. Sorry, family. I'll answer you in a couple minutes, bud. Sorry. He's such a good guy. He's been so supportive. I've had a lot of people be so supportive. Thank you guys so much for watching the videos, supporting, getting the game. Really appreciate everything. We're small-time game makers, so we appreciate every little bit of support we get, is what I want to say. Okay, I don't know if we really need this edge here now. I don't know if it really need it, or if it'll just kind of smooth the whole thing out. Maybe I might take it out. Let's dissolve it. I think that's a better look overall. Okay, let's make the shape that we're going to punch out of that shape now. Shift D. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. So we'll undo that because we didn't want to do that. Shift A. So sorry. And make sure we work on the front. We made one side our front. Oh, geez. Undo that. Undo. Out of edit mode. Then Shift A. Then cube. Sorry. Otherwise it would have been attached. And it just would have caused issues when we tried to bool. Okay, so get it here. Now let's get the general shape of the fire pit. And I know you don't want it to be square. Maybe you do want it to be square, actually. Maybe we'll do a few different versions, okay? Let's take this, and then you have a variety, but they're all the same shape in the end, all the same size, right? And we'll take this, and we'll Shift D it. And we'll just, well, let's see, yeah, let's do it there. We'll just move it out there. So now, if you want to do a square one, bump this in and get it to the right depth that you're happy and it's not popping through the back or through the sides. Move it around if you need to, if you want to be taller, shorter, longer, deeper. I think it actually looks good, but yeah, I think it actually looks good, so I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to go ahead and bool it. Oh, there's a little tiny ledge on the bottom. That actually looks kind of good too. I might keep that as well. Normally I'd want to go right through, but I kind of like that. So now we have one. Obviously it would have been good to color this first actually, but we didn't, so it's okay. We will color them separately. Alright, so we'll just hit 0 here. And it'll move it back into place for us. We're exactly at 0. But we're going to do this one a bit different. Okay? So we're going to go to edit mode and we're going to Control R on the block. Okay? Let it center itself. Right click. Then we're going to grab this edge and this edge, and we're going to take them down a little bit. Okay? And then we're going to grab that edge too, and we're going to Control B. Depending on the shape you want, I actually didn't mean to make that shape. I thought I had more bevels in this. But that shape doesn't look too bad. But I'm not going to use that. I'm going to up the bevels a little bit. So we're going to undo, Control B, and I'm going to go here and up this to 6, because that's my new magic number. It usually looks pretty good. That looks a little off, so we're going to undo, and then Control B once again. Sorry for all the changes, guys. And there, that's where I want it. Okay, and that's going to be the look of this one. And this time, since we know we didn't go through the last floor, maybe we'll do it. No, actually, let's do the same. Kind of look good like that. So just make sure you don't go through the back. You didn't. Alright. Object, bool, difference. Alright, so we have a pretty handsome looking little stove here, guys. And if you want to get rid of those, you should be able to just dissolve them, but let's see what happens. Yep, we're okay. Get rid of all those too, I think, but and I think it's this one, and I think it's this one, and I don't know, but let's try. Okay. Just looks a little better without those edges there. They're just what the shape we cut out, so. Now, I guess we would probably color, but yeah, let's color this real quick and then we'll do a different type of wood stove if you guys don't mind. I guess you don't have a choice or a say. Hopefully it's alright. So to start off, let's go like a reddy color. Oh, it colors both of them. An orangey color maybe. A sign. Okay. And maybe we want to do this one a little bit of a different color, so let's just grab the faces we want to change. And maybe we want to make them look like wood or something. Depends what you're after, right? We're going to hit new here. And you're probably going to want to put like a brick texture on that. So you're probably want to subdivide it just to make sure all the edges are nice and even, especially when you're going to texture something like that. I was going to do two colors like this. I might do some sort of texture, and I might make a texture modifier inside of my game for I can just use it on all the fire pits of the same size and color and everything. Okay, so I think that's good enough. They don't really need to be too colored, I don't think. And if you want it to, and you're going right through the roof of your game, like your game roof with your chimney, and you wanted the look, you could just do this. Okay, and then you could either go E and just take it down until you can't see it, or you could reach in there and delete that face. And since we drove it down a little bit, it's probably going to look pretty good. You're not going to be able to really see where it ends, especially if it's really, really tall. You know what I mean? You can go all the way through if you really want to. Up to you. You can also use a shape. Yeah, maybe that's the best way. That's what I should be telling you to do, is use a shape. I'm going to get a comment from that one guy who always tells me when I do things wrong. Okay, let's go back. Let's use a shape. Okay, let's get out of edit mode and let's shift A. It's going to say, why would you do it that way? It's going to be all rough edges and they're going to be all torn up. So do it the right way. You punch it out with a bool shape. That's probably what he would say. So do something like that. Make sure you go all the way through on both sides. Maybe S it, make it a little bit bigger. Make sure you're happy with your edges if it's not in the right position for where you want, because we bumped that back a bit like that. Okay. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bool the shape out different. So now our chimney goes all the way through. Okay. So if you wanted to make some kind of smoke effect, perfect. Okay. I'll give you an example on one. I won't bother doing the other one for we can get moving a little bit on. Oh, wow, that's cool. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to be in this mode. Here we go. You gotta make sure you... Oh, what did I do? I must have deleted that one face. Yeah, if I did this to you, maybe I'll just show you how to fix it real quick. Sorry, guys. I must have grabbed the wrong face here. So just gonna grab the two edges like that. Third one, fourth one, F. Okay, should be fine. It's perfect joined to all the edges, so it should be fine. And we'll drag that over there. Okay, we'll do one more different type of wood stove. And this one's called a pot belly stove. And if you guys know anything about wood stoves, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. They are made out of cast iron, and they're usually pretty big. And it's to heat like a big farmhouse or something like that. They were used commonly way back in the day, depending on the type of game you want. Like say it's a survival game, you could make the barrel part, or you can make this part a barrel or something like that, and then just stick some legs and make it look like a survival type thing. Depending on what you're looking for, really. Right? So what it would usually look like is it would start with a shape like that, but then you would usually have a flat spot on the top. Let's flip to the other mode and Shift A will make a square. See if we can get the right shape on this guy. Did I just make a cube? I didn't mean to make a cube. Oh yeah, I did. Alright, it just looks funny. My bad. So it would be a flat spot on the top like so, and we just spread it out. Okay, and something like this. Okay, and a little bit side to side until you kind of matched it up with the shape that's underneath. Something like that, right? We won't attach those yet because it's going to just create a world of issues and problems, so we won't do that yet, but you get the idea. Shift, oops. I meant the Shift D, I don't know what I did do, hopefully nothing. S, shrink it right down, pull it up, push it in, pull it up. Let's go make some lags real quick. Okay, pop it over to one side. Something like that. Okay, they're pretty square lags, but oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. My mouse is starting to die. I've been mentioning that in videos. It's getting old and worn out because I click so much stuff. Maybe we'll change our view panel here. It's a little bit hard to see here. Yeah, that does help a little bit. I think we're exactly on that, which is good. Shapes are just kind of rolling through each other. Hopefully when we join them, they look clean. Something like this. Shift D it. We'll put one on the other side with a minus. That did not do what I thought it would. So that's fine though, because we can use that there. It looks like it's in a good spot. So let's get rid of this minus. Oops. Yeah, that worked. And then just do the same to the front. Shift D, second one, get rid of the minus. Okay. Alright. We got our legs, but let's not attach them yet. We're just trying to get the look. I don't know if I want to do that up there, if the join's going to go well. I'm just going to test it, see what it looks like when we join them. I don't know if it's going to look funny. Sorry, Control J. I think it looks okay. You guys decide? I don't know. Imagine we could probably get rid of these. No, I guess not. I don't know. Looks pretty good to me. That's the look I want in the end, so I think it's going to work. But let's go back and unjoin those because we're going to have to bool some things out of them, and I don't want to have problems trying to bool. So we've got to get a certain shape out of them to, well, both of them need to be shaped a little bit. Okay, so must have been right before I did it. Alright, that looks like they're just attached now. Alright, so we've got to make a door for the stove. Let's take this, Shift D it, take it down, pull it up, and we will go skinny, skinny, skinny this way maybe. Bit bigger this way. Okay. Might have to make a hinge. You decide how in detail you want to go. I've showed you hinges before, but I don't think I'm going to show it this time. There's probably already going too long on the video. So I'm going to Control B that. Just round it a bit. Okay. When you're happy, take the shape you just made, Shift D it, and we're going to make some pieces out of it. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. And what these are just little tiny grill holes in the door. So only do this if you want to have a flicker effect of the fire coming through the door at times. You know what I'm saying? Give you that fire pouring under the floor through the fireplace, but do them really thin, like so. And I'm just going to do one down here. Okay, but I'm going to make a few more before I go ahead and do it. And I'm just going to shape them a bit different. Like that, and like that. Okay. And then we'll make a handle after, and we'll join everything together. Shift D. We need to do a few more things too. First of all, before we take any shapes out of the door, Shift D, we need to bool out the shape here. Shift D. So we're going to click this with one of these ones we just Shift D'd. We're going to bool difference, okay? Then we're going to take this one and we're going to do the same to the top. And the reason being is that we want to take out both shapes, okay? So now when we go into edit mode, we'll just have to click just this face. Face. Do I have two there? No. Oh, that's what it is. Alright, so we're still on faces. Why is that happening? Okay, grab this one and go into edit mode and just that face, delete face. Okay? So now you have a hole cut out in the shape. You may have to go in here and why am I not grabbing that now? Oh, because it's click on the square, go into edit mode, grab that face, delete face. Okay? So now you have a wide open stove in there. When we connect them, it's going to look really good. Big old stove. Alright? Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, we'll grab this, and we'll take it out of that shape by boolean. And there we go. Okay. We're going to take that and bump it in, and we're going to make it a lot thinner because it's way too thick. If that was made out of cast iron, it'd weigh 1,000 pounds. Something like that, for it's only like 20 pounds. If you want to make a hinge, should be pretty easy. You do need to make a handle for sure, especially if you want it to open. Shift A, and we'll go ahead and just make a I don't know if I want that. I want it. Let's make a cube. I know we're all thinking, well, why wouldn't you use a cylinder? It just makes sense, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I'll show you why. Because if we had a cylinder, we'd have two rough ends at one end. Oops. Edit mode. Click A. Control B. But here we won't have that because we are going to make a different shape with it. We'll just S it down. Okay. Like that. And then we're going to Shift D it and 90 it, maybe here. It didn't go anywhere. Could do it that way actually. Yeah, let's do it that way. I was thinking something else, but that'll work. You see? And then that way they're not two odd ends, they go together just a little better. Usually look a little bit better. Maybe you disagree. You go ahead and do you, of course, as I always say. And bump it in, bump it in. Come to one side. Perfect. And if you wanted to, you probably use this for your hinge shape too. Maybe I'll quickly demonstrate that. I'll just keep rapping on though. I gotta get out of this before you guys are mad at me. Shift D. Okay. Gonna bump this over. And how will we do this? Yeah, there we go. Something like that. I maybe move it up a bit. Shift D. Okay. And then Shift D. And we need to do maybe a 90 here. Yes. And then we'll go up. We'll go over like this. We need to adjust these ones a little bit, obviously. But let's first do this. And we'll go into that mode, we'll click off everything, we'll just click this one. I'm going to shrink it quite a bit. And then let's move it out, back into the piece, like that, okay. And then we're going to Shift D it, and we're going to move it over here, okay. Something like that. And then we're going to change the shape of it a little bit. Okay, and like that. And hopefully this will all work out, and then we can just copy this shape. like that. And we're gonna have to move the whole thing after, but just try to get it in place as best as I can. Something like that. Now move it where I could see it a little better. And we'll just stretch this out just a little bit like that. Okay. We'll fix up the shape a little bit, don't you worry. Okay, once you're in place, back to edit mode. We'll hit just this one, and we're just going to mod this one just a little bit again for it's not so fat there. It looks a little weird. Okay, and we'll bump it over, bump it down. Just hide those edges in each other. There we go. I like that. Do you like that? I hope you do. And then we'll Shift D it. Okay. And again, we're just making a hinge system that it looks like when you open your door that the door is actually resting on something. If you disagree or you don't like it, go ahead and make it the way you want to. I'm just giving you an example here. Okay. Those will go to the door. If you want your door to open, you're going to leave your door separated. That'd go to your door as well. Okay. And now that's our pivot point on the door. This would be attached to the furnace part. Hey, did we take the block off of that? I don't know what we did there. What the heck? Shift A. We'll make a new one, so I guess. I don't know what I did there. You don't have to have a flat top too. If you don't intend to cook off the top, that's the whole point of it, is that you can cook off the top with a flat top. Can't really with the side to side or with the round top, and that's why they do these usually with the, I think they call it, what do they call it? Pig belly stove or pot belly stove, something like that. But just to save us some time, we could move this one up just a little bit. And edit mode, grab that face and get rid of it. There we go. And then it shouldn't be in the way of the inside of our stove, so we shouldn't see it in the inside. There we go. Still perfectly empty. So the only thing I'd say that we're really missing now is a grill for the stoves. So if you want to make plates that pop out, but this is where we'll probably stop and call it a video, and then we'll attach it all. Oh my god. Lost it. Where did I lose it? Inside of there, and I don't want to go digging, so I'll just go backspace till we get it. Alright, and that's what they'd be like. They look kind of like that. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, you know. But do something like this. Okay. Just leave them sticking out. Shift D it. Move them wherever you need them. 2 at the front probably, maybe 2 in the middle, but we're just going to do 2 at the front for example. You do you. Before we do that, let's Shift D these and just move them up a little bit. Okay. We'll bool this. I'm sorry. Getting distracted here. Difference. Okay. And if you want them to go right through, just delete those 2 faces. And we have a clean all the way through look now. So if you wanted to make a lip on these, that they sit on that or something like that, that'd be easy enough. We just Shift D. Bump these guys up a hair until they're not overlapping, but they're really close. And then you just grab the top one and just S it a little bit. Grab this one, S it a little bit. Okay. Then you would attach this to that, Control J. This to that, Control J. Then grab them both and you just sit them on top like that. And then they're just how a real stove would work. Gonna want a stovepipe obviously, so quickly throw one of those in. And they're gonna be a lot thicker, so something like that. And you can make a pipe really easy, obviously, just by making a second one and then shrinking it slightly smaller, then punching it through both ends. Or you could just delete both ends if you'd rather do it that way. Something like that. Okay. If you wanted to do what I was talking about, you'd do that. You'd hit S a little bit, and then you'd stretch it out a little bit. You'd make sure your edges are what you want them, and then you take one shape from the other. Okay? If you wanted to go right through the stove, you could, but I think we'll stop there. So we have 3 different types of 2 fireplaces and 1 wood stove. Obviously, this one's going to need to be scaled a little bit. It's a little big, but let's first attach all the pieces and color it, I guess. So that's all attached. I'm going to leave the, I'm going to attach the door actually. And then I'll color them all together, and then I'll disattach the door. So I'm grabbing the big metal part last, for I can attach everything to it. I'll attach this to it. Okay. Now if I wanted to size it at all, I just size the whole thing together. Oh, I've missed some lags, or what was that? Oh, it's our hinges. So make sure that those are attached. Control J. Alright, now we could size it down, size it up, whatever we need to do. Okay. So I would probably make the whole thing black, by the way. So do that, we'll do that, and I guess there's not a whole lot to really color, guys, because if it's cast iron, the whole thing's going to be black, I guess. So something like that. Maybe you want to do a little bit of writing or highlight certain things. Maybe that's fine, but I think that's going to be fine for me. I'm going to leave it like that. I think that's the right coloring, so I guess the coloring was super simple today, guys. Hope you had some fun. Hope you learned something. Hope it gave you some ideas. Always share with me if you want. Tell me what you have made and if it helped you. And I appreciate all your guys' support. Make sure you thumbs up, you like, and you subscribe, and we'll see you next time, guys.